Oh boy, we are really starting this. Look at this. We got sunflowers already. Already got some sunflowers. That's a good sign. It's gonna be a bright day. But anyways, hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So I just got to thinking, just as I've been on YouTube and I've been watching a lot of these newer guys on YouTube coming up in the world, all that good stuff, and the new commentators, but the old school style commentators, if you will. Let me turn this down just a tad. It's probably gonna already turn the music off. Makes me sad. I already heard a good song coming on too. Oh, never mind. We'll just leave it. So, you got these new age commentators, and they're talking about stuff, and it feels like old school YouTube again. Man, what a world already we got going on here. Gotta get some trees and get some wood. You know the deal with Minecraft. But I like it because they're bringing up topics like the old school YouTube videos were, where it was just general, simple videos about life and just stuff that we're all kind of going through and exploring in the world. And I got to thinking, with technology being so prevalent in this world, right? This is recorded in March of 2025. So, whenever you see this video, just know that the time may be different. But most of you will see this, obviously, in the year 2025. But I will say that it's interesting to see how much the world's changed just in the last 10 years. I'm 28 years old, so I grew up when the internet was just now starting to become a thing. And it is pretty interesting to see because we can see how it's affected our lives for the good and, for the bad. And there's both. It's not just all bad. And there are some drawbacks to technology advancing the way it has. So I want to go ahead and kind of get into a topic that a lot of people are talking about right now with AI and algorithms, right? So algorithms are huge. They play a massive role in everything we basically consume now these days, especially with social media, video games, and even stuff such as movies. So they've took a lot of our information and they've used it to essentially tailor things that we enjoy to us. So I know you're thinking, how can it be a bad thing? Well, there's good and bad. The good news is you can pretty much always adjust your algorithm in whatever you're in, whether it's your video games or whatever movies you're watching or whatever videos you're watching on YouTube or whatever games you're playing. It really knows you more than you know you sometimes, it feels like. And the only noticeable problems with that is the ones that people make videos about all the time. The standout ones, right? Where you get that disassociation and you feel so sucked into this world. So I think something that I wanted to take from this was that we should take a step back and really appreciate what's going on in our personal lives. Yeah, I know life isn't always that fun. Sometimes it's pretty slow, monotonous, and boring. You may have a job that you don't exactly love, and that's okay. I think it's perfectly fine to have a job that just kind of gets you by. And I'll go ahead and be honest with you guys. I've had quite a few jobs, and honestly, I've not loved all of them. A lot of them have been pretty horrible jobs. But there's been some good ones in there in between too, and I've met some amazing people along the way and learned a lot of life lessons and stuff that's really just invaluable. Also, don't mind the character skin. I still have not changed the default. I made a whole new account. I bought the game again. I had bought it a while back, and then I stopped playing for quite some time. I believe my account got hacked, and then someone cheated on one of my favorite servers. So then I just went ahead and bought the game again so I could actually play on it. It's been some time. But with all that being said, back to the subject. So, you may not love your job right now, and that's okay. Because guess what? You don't have to stay there. And it's just a stepping stone to get you somewhere where you actually do want to be. The job I have right now very much gets me by. It's solid. It works. I get great paid time off. Plenty of vacation time to spend with the family. And so forth and so forth. This job is just a good stepping stone to get me to my next step, which would be, building my business, providing for my family, having a little bit more expanded future with that, and having more freedom. And freedom looks different for everybody. Some people envision it having a lot of money, fancy things. If that's your thing, hey, that is cool. I will say, you definitely only want to get those for the right reasons. If you're trying to impress people that you really don't care about, I promise you it's not worth it. I have a really nice car. I have a nice Dodge Challenger. It's been a great car. I've had it for 5 years. If I could go back, I wouldn't change anything. That's actually another subject for another day, I think. But, you know, your past makes you who you are. And I think that, you know, your choices end up molding you into the person that you are, and you get to grow. And I think that, again, doing these jobs that can even be mundane or draining even, right? They do teach you a lot. They teach you to appreciate the littler things in life, spend time with those you care about, friends, family, who it is, you know, whoever it may be. It can be, you know, your spouse. Obviously, you'd want to spend time with your spouse, your kids, mom, dad, stuff like that. I don't know why I just made another wood tool. But you know, it's basically just allocating your time wisely, right? Where we're not perfect at managing our time, and I don't think you should be. I think if you overthink everything, there's no room for you to be creative. And I think that it's important to leave there to be some room for wonder. Let me make some tools here. I'm gonna get some axe going. And then I think, let's see, we got a shovel and a sword. But you gotta leave some room to wonder. And, you know, I think that a lot of us, myself included, at many times in my life, have gotten sidetracked and we lose that side of our creative endeavors, right? Where, you know, we lose that inner kid. Is that a beehive? It is a beehive. Look, and an apple fell. That's pretty cool. We gotta plant that tree back, get those going. But, you know, I think it's kind of important to say that spend time with those you really do care about, man, because you just don't know. And, you know, truthfully, it's just one of those things that leaning back into technology, right? It's so easy to be, air quotes, connected. We're so connected with social media, but we're further apart than ever with socializing, in my opinion. Of course, if you go out and hang out with friends, that's different, right? That's cool. I think it's important to socialize. I'm a very introverted person, but I do think it's important to hang out with friends and all that good stuff and just socializing with people. Of course, you don't want to just force it. If it feels right, of course, do it. But if it doesn't feel right, obviously don't do it. But, you know, it's just one of those things that you gotta kind of just get out there, you know, explore the world, all that good stuff. We gotta go ahead and actually grab him. I want to kind of do the simple cave dirt hut type of house. Very simple, basic, I know. I'm gonna go ahead and get some torches going because, quite frankly, I don't know. Let's see, let's do this first. All right. So I'm gonna make some oak planks because those are the least cost effective, and then you can make a charcoal, and then you can build. Well, you can basically charcoal burns 8, I believe. It makes 8 items. So we'll wait till he gets in there. I want to throw one of those, and then we can get back chopping some more trees down. Then we'll check on them in a little bit. But the thing is with AI too is like it gets so sucked into these devices. And don't get me wrong, I love YouTube as much as everyone else, but I catch myself getting stuck on the shorts a lot too. There's actually an extension. I used to use it on Chrome whenever I used Chrome for a period of time. There's an extension where you can actually fully disable shorts, and that includes on your channel, your own channel, like where you can't even see your own shorts on your actual channel if you have them on your, you know, YouTube, if you even have videos. So it's pretty interesting because it kind of, it definitely works. If I remember the name, I will throw it up in the description or put it on the screen or something to that effect. But yeah, it is crazy how insanely effective these algorithms are, right? And so they really do pull you into your device. I think that phones are kind of one of those things, right, where it can be a big detriment if you let it. I do think they're tools and they're just fun to have. And they're very useful if you actually, again, let them be what their intended purposes are, is to kind of just be a tool. But there are very good uses for phones. And, you know, within your phones, obviously, you can get sucked into your phones even easier, I think, than just on your computer because it's always on your person. And how has that kind of changed our society, right? I think that it has changed it a lot in the negative because so many people are on their phones now. And for a lot of stuff that doesn't really matter, truthfully, like I'm not a big person that's in the news. I know a lot of people are. I know a lot of people probably come from generations where the news was pretty much what stayed on the TV. And you have to be conscious of that. Like what are you pumping into the, environment in your house, right? Like what kind of, and what kind of basically energy are you putting into your home? Because if you're putting in the news, of course, in my opinion, a lot of the news lately has just been very negative, political. I'm not a big political person anymore either. I used to kind of be, and then I realized it's just a lot of it's not necessary, and a lot of it's just kind of overkill, and it just doesn't lead to any good a lot of the times. And so I just found that it's not really worth it. Just my humble opinion. But with all that being said, it's just one of those things that I think a lot of people just get bent out of shape about. You lose friendships and just silly stuff all the time for stuff like that, and it's just not worth it. And if you start your day with your phone, right? You start your day and you're already in a particular mood because of being on social media. And even if you're not on social media, you just see it just plastered everywhere on your phone, whether it's ads or whatever, of just all kinds of negativity. And I don't exactly know why, but I feel like negativity people are hooked more into than positivity. Sure, everybody wants a positive world, right? But like, there's just something about the negativity that people can't draw their eyes away from. I guess it's kind of like a train wreck, right? You just can't look away. So it's like a lot of people are drawn to it. And the algorithm, again, being as intelligent as it is, it knows what you want to see, what you keep viewing, what you don't swipe away from, what you interact with. That's a big one, right? How you interact. If you're constantly interacting with these things, man, oh, it's going to keep feeding it to you. No problem. It will keep delivering that right to your front door. And I think that a lot of people don't really pay attention to how they behave and your habits. But yeah, it abuses that. And it's insane how intelligent it really is. But I kind of just wanted to get on here and yap a little bit. I didn't really know the direction I was going to go with this video, but I just want to kind of talk about stuff that was on my mind lately. And I've just been trying to take it a little easy. And, I hope you guys are doing the same. I hope you're honestly doing well. And continue to protect your peace because no one else is going to do it for you. This is going to be the first video on the channel, I believe. This will be the first of this kind of type of video anyway. So for those of you who are new, welcome, welcome. Probably going to stick to just some simple nostalgia type of games like Minecraft. We will probably play some older Minecraft. This is the current, I think, updated version. So it's like 1.21 or 1.22. I'm not even sure what the newest version's called, but we're probably going to throw some beta in there too, just because I do like beta 1.7.3. That's a lot of people's favorite beta version, and I think that it would be a lot of fun. So again, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. You guys, of course, have an awesome day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. There's a spider. Oh, that's a torch. I thought that was a spider eye.